you. Actually, I'm here on behalf of ISTL Albania, which stands for International School of Theology and Leadership, and I come today on behalf of them. Yes, thank you for having me, for inviting me in this event, and this is very encouraging. Actually, it's a good time to come together for this purpose of sharing, encouraging, and edifying one another, and affirming what we do and our ministry in the kingdom of God. Actually, for me personally, it was a very busy time as I'm writing my doctoral thesis, but thank you for inviting me and persisting to come and to consider seriously. Yeah, and I think today that's good. Thank you. I could see the good in this. And yesterday you mentioned the challenge of migration, and actually that's one of our biggest challenges we have in Albania. I think that young people, they want to go westward, and that's for a number of reasons, and they want to go and to live. And actually I became a Christian 26 years ago, and when I was an immigrant in Germany, and I was not looking for God, but He found me. So God the Lord appeared to me, and I was transformed, and my life was transformed, and God called me back to go to Albania. And I moved to Budapest in '93, and then got some biblical training, and then in '95 I joined the missionary teams and church planting around Albania. So yes, that's the challenge of migration and how we face that. And actually, many people, especially young people, they leave Albania and are concerned about the church. And our church people, we are losing, they're going. Well, saying that, praise God, God is still working. Many others, new ones, they come to Christ. And I talked to a brother yesterday. Yeah, and most of them are from massive backgrounds. So, our evangelical church and community in Albania is young, probably the youngest in Balkan context, because it was birthed after the fall of communism. We have an evangelical community of about 25 up to 30,000 Christians, evangelicals, mostly young people, young families, teens, children, and some elderly brothers and sisters. Well, now the missionaries they started the church planting, they mostly come from Western European countries, Britain, US, Canada. A good number of them are from Brazil or Hispanic countries. Then the next biggest missionary church planting team are the Koreans. Well, I say this because we have all kinds of denominations in Albania. So we have churches of almost all denominations. In my opinion, pastors or the missionaries know about denomination and their theology, but not the ordinary Albanian believers. They usually don't know much about it. So there is a sense of unity among the evangelicals. Most of us, we are members of our Albanian Evangelical Brotherhood, and actually in fall 2017 we celebrated 125 years anniversary of our Evangelical Brotherhood. However, we have seen that we evangelicals, we mind a lot our denominations and our theology, and many times we don't want to talk about them because we fight. So, several denominations, they have built their theological schools and seminaries. In my opinion, too many schools for such a small evangelical community. Lots of duplication, waste of time, efforts. When you compare to our Albanian Orthodox community, which have only one theological seminary in Shradal-Durs. I think you've been, some of these friends been in Shradal-Durs, where we had those initiative, a dialogue between evangelical and Orthodox, and that was very good. So it is quite a challenge, because few evangelical schools now are closed down due to not having teachers or any more students. So probably that might happen to a few other schools. that evangelical syndrome of each church denomination to have their school. It is strong, very strong in Albania, mostly inspired by missionaries. I'm not sure at this stage if the communication is a dialogue is possible between schools. So, as an Albanian teacher, pastor, I consider this individualistic mindset really problematic. It's more divisive rather than unifying, and Albania has had more than enough partition and division. So, as I said, I'm here in behalf of ISTL Albania, which is International School of Theology and Leadership. It is international. We have about 50 students at this moment. So we provide a bachelor linked with South Africa. So we have a few Albanian professors and pastors of few denominations and churches. We have come together with this purpose and mission to teach and equip our next generation of Albanian leaders and teachers and pastors, spreading and teaching and preaching the gospel for mission and church planting in Albania and beyond. Another challenge we face, is nationalism. So how do you respond to that? This present time, we really see that in our Balkan scene, Balkan world, we can notice the winds of nationalism, authoritarianism are still blowing once more. And we talk about having good education, professional, and providing standards. But I think that I still think that this transforming disciples, transforming leadership, more than ever is needed. Those disciples of the early church, and they turned the world upside down. I think we need that and they turned upside down in our Mediterranean world. So the other challenge, I see that we need to further talk about peacemaking.
Amen.
Peacemaking, that should be a theme.
Amen.
Peacemaking in our communities, in our churches, peacemaking between our countries and neighboring countries. Yeah, this for me. Thank you for your attention.